Hey guys, welcome back to the series. Today we're going to talk about how to set our goals and how to create daily habits to ensure we accomplish those goals. And you know, here we love our whiteboards, so what I figured I'd do is announce my goals to you guys today on the whiteboard. We review them together and you guys can help me be accountable. So here we go.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah, I was building on a lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on a plot and a scheme. The true stock trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one.
Hey guys, welcome back to the series. If you saw the last video, it was Cinchcon 2022, which is our annual franchise conference. We fly in our franchise partners from different parts of the country. It's educational, motivational. Hopefully you guys checked it out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. One of the things that you would have saw in that video is that I did a presentation all about goal setting and what my goals are for 2022. I wanted to kind of dive into that a little bit more with you guys today. One, because maybe some of this stuff is helpful for you guys as well, but more importantly for me, right? Anytime we announce our goals, we are now accountable. Whether you announce that to your significant other or you announce it to all of YouTube, we're now accountable for those goals. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do today. So when I taught goal setting to the franchise partners, I taught it in three things, and I put them up here on the board so you can take a look at them. I think there's three things we need to do in order to plan out our goals. The first one I called creating a vivid vision. Now, I did not create that. I did not create any of this stuff. There are people way smarter than me. I'm just implementing them. So this is one I got from a book written by the owners of 1-800-GOT-JUNK. So in 1997, the owners of 1-800-GOT-JUNK found themselves in a rut. Their business was doing $1 million in sales 8 years in a row. They just couldn't break through that platform. One of the things they decided to do was create a vivid vision. Okay? What is a vivid vision? It is a written description of what your business looks like 3 years down the road. Now, when you write this, you write it as if it already happened, right? So let's say you give them a tour of your office, which is what I did when I created my vivid vision. I said, hey, welcome to Cinch I.T. Here's our new corporate headquarters. You'll notice yada, yada, yada. When you come into the front door, you'll meet so-and-so and you'll hear sounds. That's our daycare because we hope to put a daycare in. You get the idea. Now, when 1-800-GOT-JUNK implemented this, they easily went from $1 million to over $100 million in just a few years. It's very, very powerful. So the first thing I did was write my vivid vision. The vivid vision is for the business, Cinch I.T., and it's also for myself and my personal life with my family and my wife and my children and stuff like that. They all intertwine, so it's all part of my vivid vision. The next thing I talked about was creating a pre-mortem. This is the opposite of a post-mortem, right? When someone dies, they look at you, they diagnose what caused the death. A pre-mortem is looking ahead and saying, what could cause death and how can I prevent it? So the next thing I did is create a pre-mortem. Now, I'm not gonna dive into that too much, but what I really wanna focus on is the habits, because we create goals, we create a vivid vision, but if we don't have good habits in place, it will never be accomplished. It's really, really that simple. So we have to create good habits. For this, I rely a lot on a book called Atomic Habits. If you haven't read this book before, I highly recommend it. We'll put a link in the description so you guys can check it out. It's a phenomenal book that teaches you how to build habits. Now, the way the book teaches you how to make habits is you have to make them obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. And there's different ways to do that for every habit, okay? We'll probably do an entire video on my habits related to my goals in the future, okay? But those are the three steps that we first need to take. Create that vivid vision, write that pre-mortem, and then determine what habits do I need to create in order to make sure I can make that vivid vision come to life, okay? I'm going to announce my goals for 2022. And you can see them already on a whiteboard. We love our whiteboards around here. The first goal I have is related to revenue and growth. Now, this is a complex one for me because I have revenue growths for the headquarters. I also have revenue growth projections for each and every one of our franchise partners, as my job and the team's job here is to help them accomplish their goals. Okay, so we have individual revenue goals set with each. One of the ones that I'd announce to you guys today so that I can be held accountable is one of the things I want to see in 2022 is 6 new franchise partnerships. In other words, I want to open 6 new Cinch I.T franchise locations across the US. So far, we've actually already sold 1 franchise territory, so we have 1 new partnership. We have 5 more to do throughout this year. I don't want any more than that because this way I can control the growth. It's good, steady growth. We supply a lot of support for our franchisees, so we don't want to sell 25, 50, 100 franchises like many other systems do. So wildly different model, but my goal is to sell 6 new franchise locations this year. That's the big business goal. Now I'm going to create I've already written both my vivid vision to make this happen. I've also written pre-mortems to say what are all the things that could come into play here, right? A couple years ago, I don't think anybody would have been wise enough to say, hey, you know, a national pandemic could be a pre-mortem, but it could be things like a failing economy. It could be things, you know, like the loss of maybe a key executive. There's lots of different things that could go in here. And when you write that pre-mortem and you identify what are the things that could go wrong, you can then put plans in place to ensure they don't. Or at least if they do, you have a good way to deal with them, okay? So my pre-mortem for this is already written. Now I have to create daily habits, weekly habits, and quarterly habits to help me obtain that. This comes down to marketing objectives. What are we gonna do from a marketing standpoint every single day? Sales outreach, so on and so forth, okay? Now, on my goals, what I like to do is have a business goal and some personal goals and some family goals. So that's my first business goal, 6 new franchise partnerships. And again, the real goal, that is, you know, we call them SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, and time-based. They're a lot more in detail, right? Very specific revenue goals for each one of them. We won't dive into all of that today. The next one I have here is more a family goal or personal goal. And this one's here just says day dates, okay? My wife is a saint. I work long hours. We travel a lot. We don't oftentimes get to spend one-on-one time alone with 3 children and businesses and things like that. That's something that I want to correct in 2022. Her and I have talked about it. We said, you know what? A day date every once in a while where it's just her and I could be really good for our relationship and help bond it. So I want to create a habit to make sure that happens. So what I've done is I've gone on to my schedule and I've pre-scheduled a once a month day date. Happens to be on a Wednesday, once a month. It's a reoccurring appointment. I know not to schedule anything in there and that the location we can change and we can have fun with it when that comes up. But that's one of the goals that I put in place for my marriage. Now, personal goals, a lot of people will call this fitness goals. For me, I call them challenges. For anybody who's followed this channel, you know I love my challenges. I think that, you know, whether you're a CEO, business owner, working professional, college student, it doesn't matter. You need to find ways to challenge yourself on a regular basis. What I choose to do is create a new challenge every single year that I can work towards accomplishing. It helps me stay focused, it helps me stay motivated, and I'm constantly driving to be better, okay? Last year, I hoped actually to do an Ironman, and most of the Ironmans that I signed up for, or the one that I signed up for, was canceled and it was postponed. So we pivoted, right? Like so many people did. And we created a 100-mile Ruck March. And so we did a Ruck March. We hiked with a backpack 40 pounds for 100 miles. So the 100-mile Ruck March that we did, it was for charity. We raised $72,000 for children with cancer. It was for an organization called Why Me Sherry's House. It was a great success. It was an absolute blast to do. And so we're going to make that reoccurring. Every single year, we're going to plan on doing that event. So I do have the 100-mile Ruck March listed for 2022 as a goal to be able to complete again. And I also added the Ironman in. So this year, I have 2 big challenges. One is to complete the 100-mile Ruck March challenge again this year. And then 6 weeks later, on September 17th, I'm going to attempt a full Ironman. If you don't know what an Ironman is, 2.4 mile swim followed by a 112-mile bike ride followed by a full marathon. Certainly a challenge because I don't know how to swim, I don't know how to bike, and I'm way too overweight to run a full marathon. It's a heck of a challenge. It is definitely an audacious goal and something that I'm actually really excited to work towards. So throughout this series, throughout the rest of the year, you guys will see everything we do and that I do to work towards these goals. Now that I've said them out loud, I have to get them done. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully as you guys are setting your goals for 2022 and beyond, you guys can create a vivid vision for yourself. You can create a pre-mortem to make sure that that happens, and then you can set some really great habits. Like I said, we'll probably do a video on habits in the future because we could talk about that for hours, about how to create a really great habit. Maybe at some point we'll show you how the habits I'm creating in order to accomplish all of these goals. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Thanks for checking out the video. Looking forward to the next one. Most of this stuff that I'm executing on here is not original to me. It's from great books and great founders and CEOs, right? I'm a big reader. This is where I learn most of this stuff. Probably next video we'll do a video showing you the 5 books that I've learned a lot from. And then I think you could as well. So check that video out. Again, we're releasing videos every Friday at 2 o'clock. So check it out next Friday. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon.